Hello crafters and welcome back to the Crafty Meraki YouTube channel. My name is Deepa from Designs by D, and today I'm sharing some gift bag ideas for you. So we're going to be making two gift bags today, one with a blue and one with a more traditional holiday theme, and you don't need any dies for this at all, and we're going to be using the Crafty Meraki EAPs and the hot foil plates to dress these up a bit. So let's take a look at what we're going to use. I have a bunch of stuff here. I'm not going to use all of it. I'm going to see what works as I go along. But for the main portion of our bag, I'm going to be using the Stellar Sparkle and the Mod Strips hot foil plates, which are two of my favorite hot foil plates. I love background hot foil plates because they are just gorgeous, especially with the shine of the foil. Now I'm also going to be using the Gilded Holiday Greetings foil plate and the coordinating die for a bunch of great sentiments. And then I've got all of these EAPs. You can use whatever EAPs or decorations you want in order to jazz up your bags just a little bit more and add a bit of detail. Now keep in mind, these bags I've got themed for Christmas, but you can make them themed for anything. For birthdays, maybe for giveaways, maybe wedding giveaways, or even party giveaways, anything like that. You just change up the decorations and it works for any occasion. So I just showed you there that I have like a whole bunch of these cut out that I've used for different products. So I kind of saved them, and some of them I'll cut out new to use on these bags, and some of them I'll just use my leftovers from past projects, and I always love to have those in a container or something nearby so that when I'm putting together cards or any other projects, I can just use them as I need them. So first of all I'm doing is I'm foiling some panels. So this is just a white piece of cardstock foiled with this gorgeous, it's like a spectrum aura, and it's got like a detail on it for the foil. This is from Spellbinders. I've got everything used today linked in the description below, so you can always find everything there. I foiled that twice on white cardstock. Now don't forget, you can also use a solid hot foil plate and the negative foil to foil the rest of that foil, so you can get 4 sheets or at least 2 sheets out of one piece of foil. So I've gone ahead and I've done this on some red cardstock, and I do want to add, I made sure that plate was really hot. I put it through my die cutting machine slowly, and I also let it heat up maybe 3 to 5 minutes longer after the light on the machine has gone solid, so that I make sure I get a good imprint. Now finally, for foiling, I'm doing all the foiling in one go, and usually this is how I do my projects. I just find that it works faster. So if you plan out your project, you can do all the foiling in one. Your your machine is hot and ready to go, so the process just kind of goes by faster. So now I'm foiling the Gilded Holiday Greetings plate, which is gorgeous. It foils so perfectly, and I love the sentiments, the font, and everything. I absolutely love sets like this where you can foil everything in one go and cut everything out in one go. So you're really saving a lot of time. You're getting a whole bunch of sentiments here in one swoop through your die cutting machine. And okay, well, I guess 2 swoops if you're doing the foiling and then cutting. But look at all of those sentiments. You can see I have a little bowl here that I keep all of those sentiments in. I have a whole bunch there that I can use for any of my projects. Everything's just ready to go. They're perfect for putting things together quickly or mass production. Okay, so let's get to making our bag. You'll see that I've just got an 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock here. I tend to grab a cardstock that's a little bit thinner, and then I've measured halfway along the length, so that's at 5.5 inches. And I folded one side right into that mark that I made. And then the second side I'm folding, but I've left a little bit of a lip, so it kind of overlaps a little bit with the first fold. That way I can add some adhesive here, and I can attach these 2 sides together. So you're kind of create like a compartment that's open on either end, you see? So now I'm going to fold at the bottom, and what you want to do is kind of use the width of 3 fingers. I just use that as a guide. You can always make this bigger or smaller depending on the size of the bag that you want. Now, this is just one bag. I'm going to show you a second bag that has the bottom a bit wider than 3 finger widths, okay? So the next step, what you're going to do is kind of fold in those edges to create a triangle on either side. And what I tend to do is just line up that center fold in the middle of that triangle with the fold at the bottom of what would be the bag, right? So just there, see the line, that line up, and you'll get a nice fold. Now fold down the first piece here, and you'll notice I've gone a little bit farther than that center fold that we lined it up with in the beginning, and that's because, again, we're going to use that flap to attach to the other flap that we're creating here. So for this step, what you want to do is line up the top of that diamond, okay? So it looks like a diamond here. You got to fold at the top of the diamond, lined up the bottom fold with that diamond, and you get a perfect seal or fold at the bottom there. Now you can see there are the 4 triangles on the outer edge there that I am adding adhesive to. And then I'm adding some really strong adhesive, double-sided adhesive to that one bottom flap right there at the very edge where it's going to overlap with the flap at the top. I'm going to take off the release paper and then fold down the top flap and then the bottom flap. So where I added the tape glue, it's being attached there, and also where the flaps overlap. Now I'm going to fold over the side, and this is really simple. I'm lining up that edge of that diamond with the other edge of that flap that we folded upwards from the bottom. And you can see it's very easy. I'm not doing any measuring. It's just a matter of making sure your folds are straight, and then using the creasing tool, the bone folder, to ensure that your creases are nice and flat and seamless. Well, that you have a nice seam to it, I guess. So now I'm kind of opening it up from the bottom. It just takes a little bit of maneuvering with your hands. And then I folded the sides the opposite way to get the bag to kind of come together. So that's your bag. You can see that it's long. If you really don't want it that long, you can just fold it flat and cut off the top. Or you can just make your bottom a bit bigger. Now, what I'm doing is I'm taking those foiled panels that we foiled earlier, and I'm measuring them to match the front and the back of this gift bag. Now, don't worry about the top. We'll seal those in the end. Just get your panels the right size so that you can attach them to the front and back of your bag. And that's what I'm doing here. So what I like to do is kind of line up the pattern with my paper cutter, my guillotine cutter here, so that I can get a nice straight cut, because sometimes when I foil, my plate's not 100% straight. So that's how I kind of line it up. Once you've got one side of your panel cut straight using the pattern in line with your cutter, then all you have to do is line that edge up with the bottom, and all of the other edges will come out straight. So now I've added some strong double-sided adhesive along with some glue tape runner. And I like to kind of stick the edges out a bit to make sure that, I'm lining this up nicely. And then I just pull the release paper off completely to attach it permanently. Now I just put my hand in and press down on that part of the bag to ensure that it's stuck down very well. And then I'll do the same exact process for the other side of the bag. So again, I'm pulling the release paper up, and I'm just folding it a little. All this does is it allows me some extra repositioning ability here, so that I can make sure that it's put on nice and straight. And once I've got it all lined up, I just pull off those release papers and make sure that it's on there nice and well. So here's the second bag that I made, and you can see that the bottom is a bit wider than the first one. And what happened is all I did, instead of doing the 3-finger width at the bottom, I made it a little bit larger. And keep in mind that when you do this, you're making the bottom of the bag bigger, but you're also making it skinnier lengthwise as it stands up. So it's really just about getting the size of bag that you want. And all I'm using here is an 8.5 by 11 inch piece of cardstock. Again, I'm using a thinner cardstock when I make the bag because it just makes it easier to fold and it's less bulky. Now, in order to seal this off, I've got a 1-hole punch here, and all I'm doing is punching 2 holes in the top of the bag. So I'm just kind of cutting the hole like a bit inwards from the sides. What I did was I just eyeballed it. I made sure that the width on either side of that 1-hole punch was about the same size on either side, so that I know that I'm cutting it at the same point so that it looks even and symmetrical. So now that I've got the bags pretty much done there, I'm going to go ahead and put together my decorations. So I'm using some of the EAP cutouts that I have from the Blooming Noel EAP pad. I had these cut out from before, so I'm really just taking the stuff that I have left over and I'm using it all up. I really love this aspect of it. I like to have little containers nearby, put all of these in there, and then when I'm doing things like this, I just grab what I need. And if I need to cut something extra, I cut something extra and add more to the container. So I've gone ahead and added the poinsettia with all of those leaves there. Now I've got the Gilding Holiday Greetings that we cut out earlier, and I'll attach those. And that's pretty much that bag there. For the second bag, I'm going to cut out some more of the EAPs. This one is the Festiflora wreath, and it cuts out all of those sentiments along with the wreath. I just really want the wreath here, so I'm going to add some foam adhesive to that and attach it to the blue bag. And then I've got some more of the sentiments that we foiled and cut out earlier from the Gilded Holiday Greeting set. So again, I'm just going to add some foam adhesive and add those to the center of the wreath. And I've kind of just put together a nice little sentiment in 3 lines saying warm winter wishes. So those goes together nicely and fit right in the center of that wreath. Now, in order to close the bag, you'll, of course, maybe you want to put whatever it is you want to put in the bag first, but it's okay because you can basically undo the bow and retie the bow. That's the whole point in the bow. You can open it and close it with no issues. Now, all I did was I took some ribbon, I threaded it through those 2 holes, and now I'm just tying a bow in the front, and look how gorgeous that is. I'll do the exact same thing with the other bag. And you'll notice here that I kind of fold the ribbon a bit because this ribbon is a bit thick. You could use a thinner one if you wanted. You could use some twine, anything you want to close these off. And I'm just kind of folding it and sticking it through the hole, pulling it through so that the lengths of the ribbon at the front are the same. I make sure that the right side of the ribbon is showing through at the back so it's nice and shiny. And then I will tie the bow again. I always have issues trying to get that bow to look really nice. If you guys know how to do that, definitely let me know in the comments. And then I just cut off the ends because they get frayed a bit as I put them through. Now I know that there is a trick if you want your ends not to fray. Just take a candlelight or a lighter and then burn the ends just a little bit till it melts, and that makes it, good to go so they're not going to fray. So these are the 2 gift bags that I've created today, Christmas themed, and I hope that you like this idea and will do the same or create something similar yourself. You can basically put a whole bunch of these together if you get an assembly line going, especially with the hot foil plates, and the folding really doesn't take too long once you get the first one. So I hope that you've been inspired today. Everything, as I said, is linked in the description below. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the Crafty Meraki channel. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys again next time. Bye.